This is where it all started at, right here. Somerset, Indiana. This is where it all started at. Compton Rick Rock TV. And y'all gonna trip how it all started. Let's get down to it. About to break it down for y'all. Man, before we get started, man, it's a female on YouTube. Not YouTube, she on Instagram. She pretty famous too, popular. Gave your boy some of the coldest throat. Park right here. Oh, because I had that camera. Cold game, man. We gonna get to it, man. It's early in the morning. I've been up since 4 o'clock. Just drove all the way down to go to the studio, man. The recording studio, the podcast studio. But the podcast studio started right here. And I got my shot of mud this morning. This is a Cadillac. If you know what a Cadillac is, you know. Let me show y'all my old apartment unit. This is it right here. This is it right here, man. About 4 or 5 years ago. About 5 years ago, I was staying right here. 15134 Indiana Street. It all started right here. All right, so that corner unit right there, where I used to stay. Right here. That was my bedroom right there. Paramount, California. All right, so Compton Rick Rock TV was started there. It was actually called Positive Vibes. I was doing a show called Positive Vibes. If you go down my YouTube channel, you might see some of that content. Compton Rick Rock, Positive Vibes. But let me tell you how it all started. I was staying right there. I was doing comedy skits. That's why I was staying at when I was doing the comedy skits with Crip Mac. We was doing the comedy skits. My partner called me out the blue. He said, Rock, I got this podcast equipment. I want to try you out on shoot some content, like podcasting type content. I was like, man, I'm not doing no podcast, bro. I'm not into that. I do comedy skits and I low ride. He was like, nah, bro, I'm telling you, you can do it. So a week or two passed by. He called me again. He said, man, come by, check out the studio. Man, just come try it out. I'm telling you, you could do it. Make a long story short, I end up going back to the studio that he was talking about. Well, I end up going, not going back, I end up going. We did one show. It was a green screen behind me. That was my first time working with a green screen. We do the video, we do the content. When he edited it up and had all the pictures in the backdrop on the green screen, I was amazed by that because I'm used to being in the field doing comedy skits with Crip Mac. So DMX passed away. I knew DMX, met him a few times with the rapper The Game, talked to him a few times, and I just talked to him probably about a month before he passed away. Anyway, we do the content on DMX. The homie took forever to put the video out. By the time he put the video out, they had already buried DMX. He was already buried in the ground, right? So, as content creators, everybody know you gotta be the first one to put the content out, right? Now, at this time, I'm not knowing that you gotta hurry up and be the first one to put the content out. I just know that we need to put this stuff out because it was big on YouTube, right? Anyway, he took so long to put the content out. By the time he put it out, like I said, DMX was already buried. Didn't get no views off of it. I'm watching everybody else get views off the content. So what I did was, I had a pink Cadillac lowrider at the time. I think I did pay $25,000 for the Cadillac. Now, I wanted to get involved with this podcast and stuff. Now, we probably done shot 2 videos. So now I'm like, okay, he right. I could do this. So I sold my pink Cadillac. I took a $11,000 loss. I paid 25 grand for the Cadillac and I sold it for 14,000. I believe 14,000 or 15,000, but I'm gonna say 14,000. I sold it. I went and bought the same exact equipment that my partner had. Set everything up in this apartment unit. And yeah, it started in this living room right here. Now, remind you, I never knew that I was going to be this deep into this podcasting. I done made my $14,000 back. I spent about, all together since I've been doing this, probably about 50,000 total on camera equipment, lenses, so forth, right? But this apartment unit, which I'm circling the block, I'm gonna show y'all again, right here is where it all started at. Now, I'm gonna also tell you about this apartment unit. You know, I'm on my way to my podcast studio, so let me stop by and show the people where I used to live at and where it all started at. So anyway, I used to do my comedy skits with Crip Mac. And I used to wonder why Snoop, because Snoop always posts people's comedy stuff, right? And I used to wonder, like, damn, why dog don't post my content? I know he see it. Well, I thought he seen it. You know, I felt like he should have posted because he posts everybody else stuff, right? Never posted it. Now, that don't mean that he wasn't, you know, did pay attention to the content. But at that time, I thought I was the top dog in doing those skits, me and Crip Mac, right? Never happened, but we're gonna get all the way up to that. But anyway, let me show you my room again. This is what happened. This is why I left this apartment unit. This was also the same apartment unit that I got my heart broke for the first time in my life. Never felt that before. And that was the best thing that happened to me because it really gave me that motivation and that kick that I needed to take this stuff far. This is it right here. That was my room right there. All right, so let's go. We're gonna get back to it. Let me go this way. Now I'm gonna go this way. So anyway, I'm having memories like a mug. Man, I remember I hopped this gate right here. And long story, man. It's a long story. Yeah. Cold game. But anyway, let's get back to the Heartbreak. I came from work one day. I worked at the railroad station, not too far from here. I had a job driving those little carts. I used to move the containers that goes on the back of trains, trucks. So I had this thing about not using the restroom at work. By me staying so close, I just wait for my break or I just leave. And I come home, use the restroom. One day I came home, used the restroom, realized my girl wasn't at home. I'm like, where the heck she at, right? So y'all know what happened next. I ain't got to go that far, but I couldn't stay in that apartment no more. I was out of shape like I am right now. And my sister, she works out, cooked that good food. So I started going to her house and I stayed over there 3 months and I got all the way in shape. And I had bought this Harley Davidson. I bought this motorcycle, right? I'm gonna take y'all all the way. So I bought this motorcycle, Harley Davidson. I rode the motorcycle to Arizona. Right now, people in Arizona right now on a bike run. So I rode to Arizona, and as I'm riding to Arizona, I look. It was around this time in the morning, the sun is starting to come up, right? The sun is coming up, and I looked at the sky. It was like a purple, reddish look. I seen this look in the car before, but I've never seen it riding a motorcycle. I feel the wind hitting me, The scenery is looking good. This is my first time ever riding a motorcycle. I never rode a motorcycle in my life until I bought this motorcycle. After going through a breakup, you want to try new things. I didn't get on drugs, right? So when I seen the sky, this purple reddish, I lift my helmet up, the face shield. And when I looked, I said to myself, wow, that looked like a movie. This is what I'm saying. So I ride to Arizona, have fun. Man, when I tell y'all, it was females that knew me from Instagram. One lady walked up to me, put like $300 in my hand, told me this for your trip while you out here, Rick Rock. My homies is looking at me like, Rock, you know her? I'm like, nah, right? So when I tell you that this was the most fun that I had in a long time, it took my mind off my breakup. It took my mind off of everything. And when I was riding around, my homies, they've been doing this for a long time, years. So when I went back to the Airbnb we were staying at, I got in the bed and I was just looking at the ceiling and I was like, Rock, this lifestyle right here is gonna turn you out. You could get used to this. This is not good. You know, I got an addictive personality. So I told myself, if I continue to be in this motorcycle set, I'm gonna lose all focus. Remind you, I was already doing the YouTube skit, and the female that gave me the throat, she stayed in those apartments right there. I didn't know at the time she stayed this close to me. I met her on Instagram. She stayed right there. But anyway, it was time to leave Arizona. The homies, they put their bikes on the trailer. They didn't want to ride their bikes back home. This is my first time ever owning a bike. I told the homies, I'm not riding my bike. I'm not putting my bike on the trailer. I didn't pay all this money to put this bike on the trailer. I'm gonna ride this bike back home, which I did. And as I'm riding back home, I remember one of my homies telling me about this camera. Now at the time, I think I had a Blackmagic camera lens. It was a cool camera. I think I paid like $1,200 for a cheap camera, right? Anyway, as I'm riding back home, I'm passing those windmills. I'm passing the windmills and I'm saying to myself, Rock, you don't want to get turned out doing this. You're gonna lose your vision. I done did all these comedy skits. I done made myself look crazy. Everybody thought I was on drugs because the comedy skits that I was doing, I was playing a dope fiend. I was doing things that, quote unquote, a gangster don't supposed to do, right? Having fun, making people laugh. By this time, I was already bit by the camera bug. I didn't care about what the street cats thought about me. I just knew that I had a vision, right? So when I get back home, I said, yeah, Rock, get rid of the bike. It was some issues with the bike that really made me get rid of it, but I already had this in my head. Rick, sell a bike and go get this camera that costs $10,000. So I got my money for the bike. I went and bought this camera that cost $10,000. I couldn't come back to this apartment no more because it had too many memories with me and my girlfriend at the time. Too many memories. And the memories that I had at this apartment, it wouldn't allow me to go back. I was like, nah. Every time I walked up in there, I had these thoughts in my head of the things that me and her used to do and so forth, right? So I stayed at my sister's for like 3 months. Only time I would go there was just to take a shower, get some clothes, and I'd get on. Now anyway, I buy this $10,000 camera. Started shooting music videos. I started back doing the podcast stuff. And I couldn't do the positive vibes no more because somebody had already, the positive vibes word was getting too commercial. Everybody started using it. I had shirts, everything, right? So I said, COMPTON Rick Rock TV. And I started clowning around on the internet, bringing my skit mentality to YouTube. I had, let me rewind all the way back though. Let me rewind all the way back. I bought a Rodecaster when I had that Blackmagic camera. So I started filming, trying to do my own content because of the homie who was taking so long with the DMX content. So I tried it, I tried to do it, but I wasn't serious until I sold that motorcycle and I bought the camera that cost $10,000. I moved out of this spot. I moved to North Hollywood. And that's how it all started, the Compton Rick Rock TV. But imagine if I would have never went through the breakup, right? Imagine if I would have never went to my sister's house, started exercising, bought that motorcycle, and I took that trip to Arizona, and I looked at that sky and seen how pretty that sky was. I've never seen it like that. I wouldn't have never, ever got this far. I done met almost everybody that I wanted to meet. I remember, like I say, Snoop Dogg, I used to do comedy skits. He never posted my skits, but he posted everybody else's skits, right? And it is what it is, man. I don't got nothing against Snoop, one of the coolest people that you could ever meet in this world, man. Regardless of what the internet say or what y'all try to say about dude, good dude, homie. Anyway, imagine that, man, if I would have never went through that breakup. I would have still been in that apartment. I wouldn't have probably never took it this far because I was too comfortable. But it was the breakup that gave me something to do. I got focused, and man, here we is today. Compton Rick Rock TV. I'm invited to some of the parties where I'm seeing all the people that I grew up admiring. I didn't got a chance to be in a couple of short films. I'm going to be shooting my own short films. And now my mentality is totally different than how I used to be 4 years ago. Now I understand consistency is really the secret to success. You got to get focused and you got to stay dedicated. And sometimes those distractions that you have in your life, you might not understand it at the time when it's happening to you. But man, God got a cold way of showing you your vision. It's up to you to recognize and realize when things happen in your life that sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes it's good. You know what I'm saying? You just got to recognize that. And once you recognize that, man, it's over with. Now, look at me. I'm revisiting my old neighborhood, Paramount. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the cities I stayed in out of many. I stayed in San Pedro, everywhere. So, yeah, man, I used to walk these blocks. When me and that girl broke up, I used to stress, man, and walk around these blocks and have conversations to myself. And everything I'm doing, I thought of. And the thoughts that I have right now, and I can't talk about them. I like to put them in action, but I got some thoughts and plans that's gonna take me farther than this. But yeah, Compton Rick Rock TV started right here in Paramount, California. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one.